Whoa, get back to topic, Francisco. My goodness. So we were talking about Muppet Babies being relaunched, and that got me thinking, what are some cartoons that you would like to see rebooted? I personally, I'm looking forward to see what they do with the Muppet Babies reboot, but there are certainly other shows I would prefer them to tackle before Muppet Babies. So I was curious what you guys, anyone in the chat, would like to see rebooted. Or would you rather them not reboot? Or is there anything that has been rebooted that you're like, "Ugh, why didn't they just leave that alone? Because it was great as it was. They didn't need to go and ruin it." If you felt they had ruined it, that is. Whoa, jump through all that. That was impressive on my part. I impressed my own self. Except I don't now. I'd like to see another He-Man, yes. He-Man was one where I feel like they did do a redo in the 90s. Maybe not though. Oh, come on, how are you shooting through the cover? Right through the cover. That's just cheating. I love that you can crawl while you're down. Though apparently the rocket still got me. Yes, I'd like to continue, please. Oh, I'm out of continues. Well, let's remedy that. Look, I got this bag of quarters here. We're fine. We're fine, guys. Let's go back to the first guy. Rambo through. Yes. What did you particularly like about He-Man, Dale? I remember really enjoying it. And I think it would be fun to see a remake of that property. I do hope they keep the whole Orko lesson at the end. I would like to. I'd be curious what nowadays what those moral lessons at the end would be like. Oh yeah, here are the aliens. You learn that you think this is a whole big Nazi conspiracy, but it turns out it's aliens. Yep, aliens. Oh my gosh. Well, at least he killed himself. See, there's a UFO right there, and that's apparently where these pseudo-Nazis got all their technology from. Can you give me something, please, POW? That'd be great, thanks. Come on, I'm right here. Oh, man, lame. Oh, I didn't know I could jump on the tanks. That's interesting. Huh. Let's see. The early 80s and 2002 versions are the best. Okay. So so maybe that's why I'm thinking of the 2002 version. The thing I liked about He-Man the most was probably that it sort of melded the sci-fi and fantasy in sort of like the same as you may have, if you've ever seen the movie Krull, it kind of does that. And to an extent, even Star Wars melts sci-fi and fantasy. Let's see. Along those lines, I would like to see, I think it was Thundar the Barbarian, where it was like this post-apocalyptic setting, but it was sort of more fantasy-esque. I think that'd be cool to see a remake of. And I'd also be fine if they ever chose to just use the same stories and just update the animations. I'd be totally fine with that. Especially since a lot of shows like that, I don't really recall. You explode on me? Not cool. I don't really remember the stories all that much. But if they wanted to tell a different story, that's fine. A reboot that I've absolutely loved in recent memory, and if you're a fan of the podcast, you definitely have heard us talk about this, but Voltron Legendary Defender that Netflix has done, man, I really, really like that. I'm a half a season behind, but yeah, it's definitely an enjoyable show. If you have Netflix, I definitely recommend checking it out. Well, I'm trying to... What is this even supposed to do? I'm doing the lever. I'm doing it. Oh, I didn't realize those little orange things could attack you. Sheesh. He-Man was like Star Wars meets Lord of the Rings. Yeah, that's a good comparison. Let's see. I think another what you call it, cartoon that I would like to see rebooted. And this one's in the works, but they keep getting delays, and man, I wish they would stop getting delays, is SWAT Kats. So I'm not a cat fan. I don't really care for cats that much. I mean, I used to really hate cats. I think that comes from I'm just allergic, and so in my youth, I'm like, oh, well, I'm allergic, I gotta hate it or something. And I definitely see the appeal of cats now. But what do you say about check out? Oh, Voltron Legendary Defender. I would highly recommend that on Netflix. I feel like I was never a huge Voltron or Voltron Go Lion fan, which is the original anime version. So maybe if you're like super fan of those, you might feel like they don't treat it well. But I think they did a fantastic job. I'm definitely more invested in this version of Voltron than I ever was in the 80s version. So it's anime styled for sure, Tubuku. But so they do traditional animation for all the characters, like the human characters and aliens and stuff. But they do CG, almost like cell shaded CG for the Voltron and the lions and the big bad guys. And I think that's great. I'm a proponent of use CG for mechanical things, and it can look great. But CG for organic characters or things that aren't like matte paint, like backgrounds, I don't know. I don't care for that for CG characters as much. I don't know if either of you have seen the trailer for Alita. I think it's Battle Angel Alita, which is the next James Cameron / Robert Rodriguez project. I think it's directed by Robert Rodriguez, but James Cameron is a producer or something. I do think that's the best human CG I've seen. Though obviously you know it's CG just because her eyes are so big, because she's like a robot or something. Man, could I catch a break with these? They're just like mowing me down. I should have just been right under them attacking. But so I'm really impressed with what they did with Voltron. But yeah, SWAT Kats. Like I said, I was never a fan of cats growing up, but that show really, I didn't care because, and you'd think it wouldn't be a big deal because I was a fan of Thundercats. But SWAT Kats, I love that they had a Tomcat-esque jet, and I would love someone to do a remix or something of the last, like the climax scene from Top Gun, but using footage from SWAT Kats. I think that'd be an awesome mashup for someone to do on YouTube. You know, even though you wouldn't get any monetization from it because YouTube is doing the whole, oh, we don't want to monetize people anymore. I mean, that's actually, I was watching someone talk about it from, I think, more of a pro YouTube standpoint, and I think they made some good points, but I've also heard people that weren't appreciative of it. Oh man, we're here already? This is like the final level, guys. I didn't realize this is like the final boss. I didn't realize I was here. So you'll see, like, so the main dictator is like, oh man, you can't stop us because we have aliens on our side, and the aliens are like, nope. We're here to destroy the world, and we just use you as our guinea pigs. And I love the animation that she's like cold. And that's an interesting dichotomy, since you see the world burning out in the back. Oh, that's cool. You see those biplanes from before shooting alien ships in the background. That's really cool. I had forgotten about that. Let's see if I can talk about other shows I'd like to see. What do you guys think? I don't know if... I think someone mentioned last night when I brought this up in stream was Chippendale's Rescue Rangers. And I think that'd be cool, especially if they reset it as like having more of mystery to it, I think that'd be an interesting take if I could talk. My goodness, Francisco. Whoops. I saw a few episodes on Netflix, but then got away from it to watch other stuff. Longmire. Longmire's so good. Frontier. I don't know what Frontier is. Castlevania. Yeah. And the Marvel stuff. Nice. Those are strong picks, Dale. I can't fault you for that. What was I going to say, though? I was going to say something very profound. No, not so much. Oh, so Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers would definitely be fun. I would love to see, and I actually honestly would like to see a movie of this, but Darkwing Duck and almost like Chris Nolan. I would like to see a Chris Nolan sort of produced Darkwing Duck, like CG animation, kind of like they're doing a CG animation for Muppet Babies. Not that it would be that same style, but if you're gonna make it a cartoon, I would be all about seeing it as a CG cartoon. Or, hey, just go traditional. I would be all for that too. Just do traditional animation and just make it like grittier and probably more like a Disney XD type fare. I think that would be so cool. Let's see. Frontier has Jason Momoa. Oh, cool. Okay. Is that like a Western show, Dale? Oh, Gargoyles. Yeah, I remember being a fan of Gargoyles back in the day. That would be fun too. So Chris Nolan could produce that too. Or let's see, who would be a good like showrunner for that? Not that the producer is the showrunner. I'm just sort of merging my roles here. Let's see, who would be good for Gargoyles? Michael Bay. No, I'm just kidding. Did we do it, guys? Did we? Well, why are you giving me heavy machine guns? So that must not be the final boss if they're dropping heavy machine guns for me. They're still battling this guy. Oh man, it's the Mega Mothership. You thought you were done burning quarters, but it turns out you're not. Oh, by the way, thank you for the follow, Tubuku. Hey, if you're, a quick aside, if you are a Full Metal Jacket fan, which I assume you are, if your handle is based on Full Metal Jacket, a podcast that the Retro Rewind podcast partners with sometimes is called Feelin' Film Podcast, and that's Feelin' without the G, so it's like FEELIN apostrophe Feelin' Film. They're currently doing Stanley Kubrick month, and their episode that I think that's gonna be coming out on Monday is on Full Metal Jacket. So you may be interested in hearing sort of the emotional takeaways they have from watching that movie. I don't know if you listen to podcasts or not, but if you do, then and you haven't heard of them, I would suggest them. And my friends Patch and Aaron, they're cool dudes. Unlike me getting fried by an alien laser, that's not cool. Frontier takes place during the American Revolution. Oh, Momoa plays a half-breed that leads a smuggling ring, like half-breed Native American and European half-breed, or half-breed alien and European, because that would be very interesting. Or is it half-breed Sumerian, because he's Conan. See what I did there? And European. I'm funny, guys. These are the jokes. Laugh at it. Laugh at them, will you? Man, how I'm very, just playing through this, I am very curious if anyone can do this. I imagine there's got to be some Metal Slug savant out there that can play this game on one quarter, but man, oh man, that seems so impossible to me. Oh, I just realized I shouldn't be shooting them. They're actually firing at the aliens. We're on the same team now, guys. It's so great. Native American and European. Okay, cool. That's so great. I wonder if... Oh, yeah, and they're actually... Like, I waited to see if their bullets actually make it flash, and they do. That's so cool that the bad guys' attacks actually do something. That is awesome. It's like, oh man, you were just using us. You were just using us, aliens. Well, now we're on the same team. It's kind of like the Rocketeer, how the mob, once they learned that it was Nazis. Oh, Nazis. Psh. Well, we're all about America and us being American criminals. So let's get those Nazis. Yeah, I like the whole like bad guy and good guy teaming up to destroy a worse evil. I'm a fan of stories like that. We're almost there, guys. We're almost there. And let's see other cartoons while I'm just pelting away at this. It's a little less intense since I know I could just put another quarter in. So that's why you may be like, why isn't this? This doesn't feel very intense, Francisco. What's going on? And that's just because, yeah, infinite quarters, guys. Infinite bullets and infinite quarters. Oh yeah. But other cartoons I would want to see. We've talked about He-Man, Darkwing Duck, Chip 'n Dale's Rescue Rangers, SWAT Kats. I know Thundercats, they had a remake, which I never actually caught. I remember when I initially saw like concepts where I'm like, Thundercats? Oh my gosh, losing my mind. And then I never saw it. So I don't know how that ended up turning out. Hopefully it turned out well. Have any of you seen it? Because I have not. Let's see, other cartoons that I enjoyed growing up. Oh, Gargoyles is another one Dale mentioned. Let's see, what other ones here? There was also... Oh, do switching characters have advantages? Not really. It's pretty much just... They definitely have different animations, so if you want to see the different animations different characters do, then there's that. But no, there's no advantages to one over the other. Okay, no, I think that might have been the last boss, but maybe not. Maybe there's another one. Are you really going to Independence Day this? Oh my gosh. That's pretty awesome. Wow, I'd forgotten about that. Boys, I'm back. General, spread the word. We know how to stop them. Just send a suicide pilot into each ship. Take him down. El Presidente was freed. Oh no. That's cute. What? I didn't save any POWs with all my what was I gonna say? All my continues? No way. Mission all over. Aw, why is it all over? 26 continues, man. Let me enter this. Unfortunately, I wish that this had a mechanism to keep your high scores, but it doesn't. Every time you turn the game off, it resets. Kind of like unplugging our arcade would reset the scores. That's definitely higher than I got last night. Oh my goodness. Metal Slug 2. Is there a credit scene? I can't recall. What is this saying here? Okay. Staff. And anyone watching, by the way, thank you so much for watching here. I'm going to go ahead and play through again. Unless you, well, I could switch over to Enter the Gungeon if you would like to see that. But I feel like people may come in and expecting to see Metal Slug since that's in the title. And I don't mind playing through it again. Actually, now I'll go back to trying to see how far I can get with just 2 quarters. So the furthest I got before was the 3rd level, the train boss. So sound hiya. I wonder if that's someone's actual name. That'd be funny if it was. So I'll see how far I can get on just 2 quarters. Dale says, I saw the Thundercats reboot. It was part of Cartoon Network's Toonami. Oh, okay. Segment of broadcast. It would come on before Justice League Unlimited. It was all right, but not as good as the earlier version. Yeah, it's sometimes hard to beat the early SNK stuff. Yeah, Francisco. The early 80s cartoons, for sure. Oh, I feel like they could reboot a lot of the Disney Afternoon, and it could do well. I mean, they're doing DuckTales, I know. But Tale Spin was another one I remember really liking. Yeah, let's see, my scores from last night aren't there. So, yeah, Tale Spin would be another one. I'd be interested to see what they would do with it. Though I don't know if it would carry over as much, since it seems a bit too fantastical. Animals, flying planes and stuff. You know what? Maybe they could do sort of merge Zootopia with Tale Spin, almost like I know Zootopia takes place in current day. I think I honestly haven't seen Zootopia. I know I've seen the last 20 minutes, so I know the twist. Go figure. But I haven't seen the full movie. But from what I could tell, it takes place in sort of modern day, different dimension. So I wonder if Tailspin could be Zootopia, but like of the 1930s or 1940s. Tailspin seemed to have that sort of vibe to it, from in terms of time period. So I think that would be actually really interesting to take maybe Zootopia people, or you could do Baloo again. I'd be fine with that. But sort of Zootopia-ize it, have like maybe forerunners or ancestors from Zootopia in a Tailspin reboot. I think that'd be an interesting way to go and sort of merge the two fandoms. Any thoughts on that, guys? Okay, so 2 credits. So I used